and this is Corey. And today, we will be your host for a live, interactive, and engaging social media forum. We're coming at you live via Periscope and broadcasting from the beautiful Beaver Street Enterprise Center. Let's give it up! Today, we're going to tackle the subject of abstinence, to wait or not to wait. But before we go any further, let's introduce our wonderful panelists.
Participating on the panel, we have Miguel Bean. He is 20 years old and a native of Gainesville, Florida. He is currently a sophomore at Edward Waters College, majoring in international business and global trade. His hobbies include watching documentaries, and he lives by a quote by Socrates: "Wisdom is when you know that you know nothing." Let's give it up for Miguel. Next up, we have Cara Bright, and she is 15 years old and attends John Regal High School. She is currently a varsity cheerleader and enjoys hanging out with friends and singing a cappella. Cara plans to attend UCLA and studying performing arts. Let's give it up for Cara. Next up, we have Cameron Coker, and he is 16 years old. He is a 16-year-old junior who attends Paxton School for Advanced Studies. His extracurricular activities includes football. His GPA is a 3.0, and he is a former employee of the Mayor's Summer Job Program, and he also has worked with the Jacks Park Rec and Roll Program. Cameron is currently working with the Pell Project Youth Link as a peer health educator, where he provides sexual health and abstinence awareness education through community outreach and social networking. Let's give it up for Cameron.
Alicia King is 20 years old, a native of Hollywood, Florida, and is currently a junior at Edward Waters College, majoring in criminal justice. Alicia is a proud member of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a not-for-profit Greek-letter sorority of college-educated women dedicated to public service with an emphasis in programs that target the African-American community. Alicia enjoys caring for others and shopping. She lives by the quote, "Don't worry, be happy." Last but surely not least, we have Mr. Les Hester. He's a Florida native. He's a graduate of the University of North Florida with a Bachelor of Health Science and Associate in Science and Physical Therapy. One of 11 boys and the third set of twins. He's been married to an awesome, strong, gorgeous woman for 13 years and has a 9-year-old, beautiful, funny, and witty daughter. Les is a Sunday school teacher for the boys 14 through 18 years of age. He has worked in healthcare for over 12 years as a physical therapist assistant. Les is a devout member of the Abyssinia Missionary Baptist Church for over 14 years under the current pastorship of Pastor Eugene Diamond. His favorite Bible verse is Jeremiah 29:11. Let's have a round of applause for all our panelists.
We would also like to recognize our sponsor for this and every Speak On It broadcast, the Florida Department of Health in Duval County and the Family Planning Peer Education for the Soul program. Let's give it up for our sponsors. During this broadcast, we'll be discussing the importance of sexual abstinence and some of the consequences involved surrounding sexual activity. Our panelists, as well as our studio audience, will give feedback on questions and comments streaming live through Periscope. Log on now to be a part of this conversation at Speak On It, and please share our hashtag DOH Speak On It Live. EJ, are you ready?
I'm ready, man. Let's do this, man.
Audience, are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh. And now, panelists, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, like, you're sitting at lunch and you're talking with your friends about sex, and next you know, everybody's like, "Girl, I can't wait till I'm out that house. I'm ready to go get a boy, and I'm ready to, get it in." And I'm always that girl, and so, I'm just like, I can't wait for marriage, I got other opportunities to worry about. So, can you wait?
Well, now that you speak of me, every time I be with my boys, we always talk about girls, and we talk about, you know what I'm saying? We talk about that every now and then, but me personally, I try my best to say, wait to marriage. But, let me let you know, it is not easy. It's not easy, it's hard, but I try. So I'm doing my best so far.
That's good. Well, I think abstinence is where you're trying to restrain yourself from doing things that you know you're not supposed to be doing. As in this case would be sex. What do you think?
My definition of abstinence is abstaining from any type of sexual activity or having boundaries that prohibit intercourse.
Well, since we know what abstinence is, let's talk about the pros and cons. So, Mr. Les, what are some pros of abstinence?
The pros of abstinence would be you wouldn't get any STDs. You're actually proud of yourself in that fact. If you have friends that are peer pressuring you into doing something like having sex, you feel like a golden child, which you should. You should feel that way. Another thing would be for your future. You know, who wants to try to go to college and you have a lot of kids, or you have even one child, which increases the dropout rate in colleges when you do have a kid. So it's good to abstain.
Miss Alicia?
Being abstinent means that's the only 100% chance that you won't have a baby and you won't catch a disease. Abstinence can mean different things to different people, but it's just no sex means nothing, no boundaries, nothing. You don't have to worry about babies. You don't have to worry about using condoms. You don't have to worry about diseases. You don't have to worry about anything. You're 100% safe.
Cara?
Abstinence is more like you can see like what guy or what girl is really down for you, like who's just with you for the sex or who's with you to actually love you.
Okay. Cameron, what do you think of some cons of abstinence?
Well, a con would be, some cons, you could potentially catch STDs, and also you might experience, for a female, you might get pregnant. For a male, you might become a father. So, like, these things are really things that you should avoid because they will affect your life in the long run.
Mr. Miguel?
I think a con of not remaining abstinent is more so you almost feel like you kind of gave up on yourself from having sex. It's not necessarily wrong or right, but it's just more so a mental thing of, man, you know, I could have waited. Maybe she wasn't the one, or if you're a female, or maybe he wasn't the one.
Okay, good. Now that we got some of you guys input about pros and cons of sex, which is really good, but now we want to hear from the people. So, Gabby, what are the people saying to us? We want to know what the people want to know, okay? So talk to them.
Mariah, age 14, wants to know, is kissing and grinding considered sexual activity?
Good question.
Phil?
I say absolutely. Yes, it is considered a sexual activity because it leads into other things. If you're open to do that, you're open to do other things.
I say that is not sexual activity because if you're strong enough, you won't let it go to other things. If you know how to say no and you know how to protect who you are, you won't go into other things. You can kiss and grind and not have sex.
I beg to differ, simply because of the fact that, if you poke the bull, you get the horns. So if you keep saying to yourself that, I can sit here and kiss and grind and it won't lead anything, I think you're lying to yourself.
Well, I don't agree with that because I don't agree with that.
Good. Well, okay, that's some really good input. Me personally, I really think it all depends on boundaries and self-control. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I believe it depends on. Gabby, what else? What we looking like?
Sydney, age 19, says he feels abstinence is unrealistic the older he gets. He is currently in the 12th grade. What advice do we have for Sydney?
Phil?
Anyone for the panel?
Well, I would personally tell Sydney. He's a senior in high school, and he's definitely peer pressure. We definitely live in a culture now where just keeping it real. It's not hard to see boobs or someone else's private parts in that matter. And I would tell Sydney to stay strong, brother.
I would tell Sydney if he can gain self-control, he won't have to worry about what society has going on. He can just stay abstinent within himself. He don't have to take input from other people if he controls himself.
Family see anything that's unrealistic. I don't know.
Gabby, you got another question?
Melissa, age 16, wants to know, what are some things her and her girlfriend can do to avoid having sex?
Well, one thing that you can do is just know your limit and don't do anything that can lead to having sex or do anything that's tempting. So just know your limits.
I guess piggybacking off of young man, I guess one thing you also could do is try and have people in your circle who will keep you, from going into certain situations. Like, for example, if you know you're going to a party or something, have a friend that, keeps an eye on you if you're around that guy, or, vice versa. So you're not going back in that room, with just the two of you. You can stay out in the open. I mean, who there's people that have sex in the open. For the most part, you know.
Or maybe they should gather some friends with an abstinent mindset so they can be around people that will prevent that. Because birds of a feather flock together. So if you're around people with a positive mindset, then they'll feed off. Their positive energy will feed onto you.
All right, Gabby, let's get another question.
Philip, age 17, wants to know if there is a second chance at practicing abstinence if he is no longer a virgin.
Yes. I think yes. I mean, because, having sex, it doesn't make you, like a demon.
A demon.
You can just wait to do it again in marriage.
Yeah, sin is a sin. I feel like everything deserves a second chance. So if he lost his virginity, but he has to change his mind, then it's okay. Just stop. Just be abstinent until you get married.
Yeah, I mean, part of life is, trial and error. So just because, he had sex once doesn't mean that it's over.
Yeah, another question.
Chris, age 14, says he wants to have sex all the time. He's in middle school. What can he do?
Brother?
Wow.
Brother Chris.
Wow.
You better say it.
We need to slow
You
you
need your
down.
mind. I think, Chris, I think what you should do is you need to be the one to be around the people that are abstinent-minded. And you don't put yourself in a predicament with your laptop, your cell phone, and watching those things that will promote you wanting to have sex.
Yes.
Once you do have sex, yeah, you do want to continue to have sex. But I think the most important thing is think about not just how you feel, but think about how the other person feels as far as what you do with them. Because if you do that with them, then you're pretty much attaching yourself. It's a soul tie. So you attach yourself to the other person, and the other person attaches themselves to other people that you have sex with. So don't just think it's selfish, that particular type of concept. Put yourself around other people that are positive and are motivated to do the right thing, which is to try to abstain from sex.
Anybody else?
I'll say, Chris, just calm down. You're only in middle school, but we do live in a generation where sex sells on everything. So just don't let sex sell to you.
I was there all the time. Not sometimes, all the time.
We at home.
But you was just
Nobody's mom when you think about it.
That's nasty.
That's disgusting.
We want to hear from you. Be sure to join in on the conversation, speak on it. Join us now on Periscope and share the hashtag DOH Speak On It Live. So EJ, we know that all youth and young adults are not going away to have sex. Some people getting it in.
What? You know what? You are so right. As a matter of fact, according to the latest stats from the Florida Department of Health, right here in Duval County, we are the leading newly reported cases of sexually transmitted diseases, from gonorrhea to syphilis and especially chlamydia. That's stupid, man. It's crazy.
It's nasty.
Very.
It's just nasty.
Disgusting.
Also, according to the Centers for Disease Control, 1 in 2 sexually active young people will contract an STD before the age of 25 and won't even know it. That's really something to think about. Let's go to our panel. Considering these stats, what are your thoughts on preventing STDs and making the public more aware of this epidemic? Kyle?
Well, I think like the best way is to use like protection. So like girls, you can use like birth control if that works for your body or whatever. Guys, condoms are a big thing, so use those to protect yourself if you are having sex. But the best way is to like just not have sex at all.
Abstinence is great, but if you're gonna have a sexual partner, you should go get tested with your partner. And make sure you guys use condoms, because even though you both are tested, you should still use condoms. You never know what your partner is doing with their other partner. You don't know if they have another partner. You don't know what they're doing with them. So just get tested with them and still use condoms.
Audience, do y'all, anybody else want to answer that?
No. Okay, so now we got some good feedback from the panel, which is some really good stuff. But we want to get in our audience. We want to see what you guys are thinking, because you guys are our generation. So we want to know what you guys think about some of these topics. So speak on it. Ronald, what do you think, man?
Can you repeat the question?
Okay, so what do you think that we can do to stop this epidemic of rising stats in our community of these diseases?
Me personally, I just feel like a lot of teens shouldn't be left alone. I feel like the internet is just so open to different things. Like you can click on a website here or there and it can be like, I know something that just, like you see a girl or you see like a nice dude, and that puts you in a bad mindset. That puts you in a mindset that you shouldn't even be thinking about at that time. So I just feel like we need to have, or like me myself, I'm always doing something. Either with my friends, either I'm working out, or either I'm doing something socially at school, so that if I do have the urge, I'm always with friends to be like, no, don't do that, or just keep my mind off certain things.
Okay, Gabby. So what's some more questions that we get from the audience live streaming?
Renaya, age 17, asks, is it okay to have unprotected sex with my boyfriend if we're only seeing each other?
Okay. We can go chill on the panelists for a minute. We want to know what some of the youth are thinking. Okay, so do you think that she should keep having unprotected sex with her partner, even though that's her boyfriend and that's the only person she's seen? So
no, because how do she know that she's the only one? She doesn't know.
How does she know? Okay. Well, Takara.
I agree with what Zoe and the panel has said, because that partner can be doing something else, and he or she might already have a disease or something going on. So they both.
I think she should go ahead and get tested.
Yeah.
Nicholas.
Well, I think she can obviously, the female can obviously get pregnant very easily if you're not using condoms. So we want to prevent teen pregnancies.
Okay. Ma'am, I don't know your name, Miss ASAP Rocky with the shirt on. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Amari. But
Okay, I got you.
No, that's all the way around. First of all, she could be doing it. Second of all, it's like she could be getting pregnant, he could be cheating on her with somebody else. Because sometimes boys mess with females that be out there. And that they don't really care about themselves, and it's just like he could be messing with somebody else and bring back to her. It's just a message.
Gabrielle, what we getting? Keep on talking to them.
Wait.
Oh,
I know there's two youth on the panel, so Cameron, what do you think? Should she have us protect sex with her boyfriend?
Well, I don't think she should, because she's taking a big risk of potentially catching an STD if he's seeing somebody else, or she could very well get pregnant. So I don't really think that that's the safe. That she should always use a condom, and as well as getting tested.
Coward.
Of course not. No, she shouldn't do that, because I think the biggest thing for me is like pregnancy, because like once you get pregnant, you can like kiss the rest of your things that you had planned goodbye pretty much. So I mean, I'm sure she wants to like go to college and stuff, and maybe she's an athlete. She still wants to do that, but if she gets pregnant, she can't.
Well, if she gets pregnant, her life is not over. It's just kind of on pause right now until you work back to, get back on track to you. Because when you have a baby, it's not about you anymore, it's about the child. So if you want to have a baby, then maybe you should keep having unprotected sex, but if not, you should stop and use condoms. Because babies, your life is going to pause. You can get exposed to any kind of diseases. It's just not smart.
Just a side note, that's 18 years of your life being on pause. So, yeah, that's kind of long.
Gavin, let's get another question.
William H. 18 says, rubbers don't feel right. If the girl looks clean and keeps herself up, we shrink. What are your thoughts?
Well, of course the rubber ain't gonna feel right, but you should, if it don't feel right, she ain't be doing it. Like, it don't make sense.
Like, get a new one.
Get a who?
Get a new one. No, like I guess you can, like, can't you just like pick a different brand of bags? Like if it don't feel right.
Yeah, I think bags have like the air condom. It feels like it's not there.
Yeah.
Or ice or something like that.
Well,
It feels like it's not there, so it feel weird.
She look clean.
yeah.
Everybody may look clean, but
they
down
ain't
there,
clean.
but they ain't clean
You know
down
what I'm
there.
saying, brother William? Even though it may not feel right, would you rather feel right for a moment and rather have 18 years of mental stress because of a child? You know? I'm just saying, think about it, William. It's worth it.
All because
It's worth
you
it.
feel right.
The condom's worth it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not. Let me let you know
Then
that.
you're gonna be living with an STD probably for the
Yeah.
rest of your life because you're talking about a rubber don't feel right.
That's right. What look good ain't good for you.
Well, panel, you guys want to elaborate on that question?
How old is this?
18. He's 18.
He's 18, okay, so he's college material. All right, so in college, the ratio, the guys and girls, it's usually like 5 to 1. And you're going to run across a lot of females that are going to look good, not just in the bikini. They might look good in jeans or a tight dress. So I would say just cut it with what I say with the way you feel about females. It's not just about how they look. It's really about what you can bring to them. And believe me, sex ain't the only thing females want all the time. Women are going to want more than just what you can give them. And it got to be a mutual thing. So just because you see it and it looks right, it ain't right. And the condom thing, people want to talk about the condom. Just do what you need to do to protect yourself. I'll say that.
My look is, you should use condoms. You should go to the store. You should buy some. Magnum has like some ecstasy or fire and ice or something like that that feels like it's not there. If you don't like condoms, go get a condom that's gonna feel like it's not there. And you can never. When have you ever looked at somebody and said, "Oh, they got an STD," or "Oh, they got this"? You cannot look at anybody and tell what they have. So everything that looks good is not good.
All right, guys, do you have another question?
Kim H13 asks, what is her best way to protect herself from HIV?
First of all, Kim, you're 13, you should not be having sex. That's the best way to protect yourself. That's right.
Abstinence. And if you decide that you're going to have sex because you control your life, use condoms. And make sure you get tested every 3 months.
And if you're 13, just don't have sex.
Well, overall, you shouldn't have sex when you're at the age of 13. Just remain abstinent. But also, if you're thinking about it, make sure you go get tested before you even think about doing anything sexually active. So, and also use condoms as well.
What are these people's parents? He's talking about having sex all the time. Oh my God, I can't. All right, guys.
Dana, age 16, asks, how does she tell her boyfriend she doesn't want to have sex at home?
Just
No.
What's her age?
16.
Just no. No. Like, it's the most simple thing ever. Just say no. And like,
But hold on now, because I'm gonna ask you because you a female. You know, some girls they send mixed signals. When they say no, they really mean yes. So we got it. Hold on.
okay, it really depends on the situation, because I mean, you also have to pay attention to someone's body language. If she's really like giving you signals like push you away, then no really means no, and like she really gonna like punch you in your face.
But if she like, no, stop. She might want you to do something, but she still said no, and no means no, so don't do it. So if she wants to say no, stop, and then she say, okay, we can go on, then that's her business. She gave you consent.
Does the audience want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I just feel like the person that you're taking from, you should have known them for like a good period of time.
That's right.
So it's not like, it's an awkward thing between you guys. And if it got to a point where you are thinking about having sex, that should be a conversation that y'all two should have. Like y'all two should just sit down and have a serious conversation about sex. And if the conversation leads to no, we're not going to have sex, it doesn't matter if she sends signals, it doesn't matter what she wears, you should always just respect her and her body.
That's right.
Can I ask a question since we didn't answer a lot of questions? My question is to mainly the ones that are in high school going to prom. I don't know if you've already been to prom or not, but why is it that it seems like the prom is the big thing where you want to have sex, or you talk about, I think we should do it? Just,
Right. What is your prom?
Hey, my prom is May 14th. But on a serious note, me personally, it's so typical to have sex at the prom. For me, I want to do something out of the ordinary and maybe take it out and do something special.
Oh, okay. Wait for me to go. Okay, Gabby.
Anthony, age 15, asks, what if I never get married? When do I get to have sex?
what do you mean?
You never get married when you can have sex.
How old is he?
15.
15. I'm 15.
Brother.
Yeah, I'm 15 too. I think if you're gonna be like a bachelor for the rest of your life, then like just do it with someone that you've like known for a long time, I guess, or if you have like a long time girlfriend or something.
Okay, well, since I'm the only one that's married on the panel, I would say just because, I would say abstain if you can. But the most important thing I think that a lot of teens get the misconception is from what the media portrays in marriage and what other people that live around them think about marriage when they see husbands and wives separated, or they don't see them getting along and they're still together. They think that's misery. And it's not true when you look at other couples that are successful. Denzel Washington and his wife, they've been together for a very long time. Myself, I've been married for 13 years. I think it takes two people that are in mutual mindset and mutual agreement with not just sex, not just living in a mansion, but with the path you take in your careers. Sex is not just the end-all, be-all thing. It's really not what it is pleasurable, but don't let it be the end-all, be-all. Like, oh man, God, I got just not to have sex. I'm going to die. It's not true. If you can save yourself to a marriage, do that. Thank you. That's all I want to say about that.
But also, even though like you talking about what if you never married, okay, if you never get married, then that don't mean you just go out and do it with everybody that you want to see or anything. Just if you're gonna do that, use protection, so you don't get the risk of catching the STD.
I think you should think about sex as a soul tie. Once you have sex with a person, your soul is being tied with them. So even if you don't get married, you don't want to tie your soul with everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys, one more question.
Jordan, age 14, asks, is safe sex really safe sex?
No. No, it's not, because I mean, even if you use condoms break and stuff, and I guess some people don't know when it breaks. Birth control doesn't always work. There's a lot of like protection that doesn't always work, so you're never really like 100% safe.
As I said before, abstinence is the only way to stay completely safe. That 0.1% in birth control and condoms is there. It can pop, birth control might not work, it's still there. It's the only safe way is abstinence.
And even if he does decide to go along with having sex, it's still better to be safe than sorry. So, it's not 100% safe, but it's better to actually try to be safe than just say, oh, the hell with it.
I believe abstinence is the safest way to be completely honest. It's just the safest way, but you're not going to be so sure that the condom won't pop. It's a risk with everything. So you can't be 100% sure that you're having safe sex at all.
All right, guys, let's take things just a little step further. So we talked about a lot today. One thing we haven't talked about is our rights as youth and young adults when it comes to our sexual health and responsibility. I value my parents' opinions when it comes to waiting for sex until I'm married, but that may not happen all the time.
Well, according to the Florida statutes, the legal age of consent is 16. However, at age 13, anyone may receive contraceptives, family planning services, and even an abortion without parental consent. Let's speak on it. Considering these laws, what are your thoughts, or what would you say to encourage someone to make healthy decisions?
Like you got something to say.
No, I was just gonna say like, don't do anything that you know you're gonna regret, or that you think you're gonna regret.
You said like the age was like 13, like get an abortion without.
Yeah.
Why would you? I mean, an abortion is like something really big. Like at 13 years old, having an abortion is something like majorly huge and completely life changing. Why would you put yourself through something like that? Like so. That is in itself is something that will make you want to bring.
You shouldn't be worried about abortion at 13.
Yeah, that's right. Quick question. How much is an abortion? I'm just curious. I'm sorry. I want to know if any of y'all on the panel or anybody in the audience knows how much is an abortion.
It starts low. I think it's $500 somewhere in between there, and then it goes up as the baby grows. It goes up. So you can pay up to like $1,200 around that for an abortion. And me personally, I'm completely against abortions because I feel like those are gifts from God, and you shouldn't throw it away because you're gonna have to think about that for the rest of your life. Like you killed your child, like that's gonna cause mental destruction.
Anybody else from the audience want to elaborate?
I guess you could talk to someone that you kind of up to, like older sibling or one of your parents that you connect to well. So you would actually like confide into them what you're thinking about, or they can help you make a better decision before you go.
Okay, Gavin, do you have any questions?
Stacy, age 16, asks, how does she tell her partner she doesn't want to have sex?
How does she tell her partner she don't want to have sex? That's from the anybody from the audience? Listen.
Like I said before, I just feel like that's just good. Like that's your partner. That should be your best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my girl, like that's my best friend. I can tell her anything. I can tell her when I'm having my bad day, my worst day. So when it gets to something serious, as having sex,
right? I
should be able to tell her, no, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I just don't want to do it. And that's just something that you and your partner should have. And even if that is your girlfriend or boyfriend, y'all talking about sex 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, that's way too quick. So you should at least be able to have trust in that person and be able to feel comfortable in that person and say, yeah, babe, I'm not ready to do this right now. I just want to wait. I just want to make sure I'm financially stable before I'm ready to move to that next stage. I'm ready to make that change.
I couldn't agree with you, Ashley. I see you in it.
And if your partner, such as your boyfriend or girlfriend, gets attitude with you and you're like, oh, we're breaking up and stuff, that wasn't the right person for you. So, I mean, it was the right thing. Just get up and move on.
Yeah, even though it's hard.
Okay.
Mr. Miguel.
I think, was that a male or female? I'm sorry. I know they were 16. It's female.
Female.
I personally think, it's kind of piggybacking off what the young man said. I think that if you all haven't spoke about that in the first place, then it almost, to me, it seems as if then you're probably with someone who you can't speak to that, speak about something like that with, because if you get in a relationship, it's already there. It's like, okay, when are we gonna have sex, right? And if you can't come out to them, being 16 years old, that kind of shouldn't be there anyway. But if you can't just come out to them and say, hey, this isn't something I want to do, and like the young lady said, you should move on. That's just kind of my spiel.
A part of a relationship, you should respect one another. So if you don't want to have sex, he should respect the fact that you don't want to have sex. It's a part of being together. You should respect each other's thoughts and wishes. So just tell him no, and if he don't respect that, leave him. He's not the one for you.
Gabby? Chuck, age 19, says his parents want him to wait, but he doesn't want to wait anymore. What should he do?
How? I mean, he already an adult, so why is he dependent on his parents' decision? You're grown, you probably out of your parents' house, so you should be able to make a decision on your own.
How old is he? 19. Oh yeah, 19. Yeah. Sometimes, brother, your parents don't know what's best for you, so you as a man, you make decisions for yourself and what's best for you.
Unless you still live in your parents' house,
yeah,
they don't want no girl coming down here.
Yeah, that's different. If you live in your mom's house, you better live in your
But you're 19, you should be out your mom's house. You make your own decision. But, Mr. Les, what do you think?
I feel that because that may weigh what his parents think, it may weigh heavy on his mind, and subconsciously he's looking at the fact that his parents, I don't know if they're married or whatever the case may be, but it weighs heavy on him, and it's good that he feels that his parents' opinion is worth something, even no matter how old he is. And with me being my age, I think that it's important what my parents think. Every child does look forward to pleasing their parents in some kind of way. And I think not having sex is extremely important, but if he does, strap up, man.
Well, I think that, me personally, I would take my parents' advice and just hold off on it. And then that he's 19.
Yeah.
He's 19. He still has to start his life, and making that big decision that you want to have sex, you got a whole lot of risk as well, and you potentially might want to go to college. You just got to get your life started before you can even think about any of those type of,
I got it.
I understand that he values his parents' opinions, but if you keep listening to them on this level, they say they don't want you to have sex right now. You're 19. So when you're 25, they're still not going to want you to have sex. When are you going to make your own decisions for yourself? You should value your parents' opinion, but it's your life now. They can't live through you. You got to do what you want.
Anybody from the audience want to give a little input on that? Yes, Ashley.
I feel that if he feels that he is ready to have sex, but his parents is not wanting him to have sex, I think he should listen to his parents, but also have his own input, because his parents have almost lived their life. They know what's right and what's wrong. So they're probably telling you this because they don't want a child. They don't want you to have a child right now. You still have things to do with your life.
I can piggyback off on that. So I feel that everybody's parents, your parents have they want the best for you. And they always have the mindset that they want you to do this and they want you to do it this way. But like someone said earlier, there's trial and error. You're not going to truly learn until you've done it yourself and you learn for your mistakes. And I just feel like he's 19. You're technically grown. All depends on his relationship with his parents to say, okay, well, I'm going to do it anyway. No, it just all depends on how his relationship with his parents is and how he is stable, like how he is as a person. So.
Anybody else in the audience? Okay, yeah, do you have any questions?
Monique, age 14, wants to know, is sex painful?
Painful. I mean, regardless if she ain't say specifically if she was a virgin or not. Oh, well, sex painful. Anybody from Mr. Les? Mr. Les. A married man. A married man. With a child.
With a child.
With a child.
Well, with me not being a female, I can say no, it wasn't painful for me, but I'm assuming that it wasn't painful for my wife, but I think that if
no, it's all good. It's all good.
But
You have to tell it to the people.
I would say that if you are willing to take the pain, what goes with what you want to do, take the pain. If you're not willing to take the pain and want to experience that without being married and committed to that person that you want to, I guess, I mean, it's a kind of morbid way of saying it. You want to endure that pain. If you don't know if it's painful, I don't know if you want to go through it. I don't know if you want to go through it.
Well, go on. Let's get it from a female perspective. Kyle.
Yes.
Okay, I'll put it in like medical terms. So I'm not sure what this wall is called, but there's a wall in there, and they are like breaking through that wall, and so it's gonna be painful, but I guess not for long.
Okay, Miss.
We got some audience.
Yes, ma'am. Finally, there's some audience.
Yeah. So I think it's important to distinguish, is she talking about emotional pain or physical pain? Because there's both pains, right?
Okay, so did she say specifically?
If she's talking about physical.
We'll talk about both aspects.
I don't know if sex should ever be painful. And what you're talking about is the hymen. Is that correct? So some girls are born without the hymen, from my understanding.
Well, I just learned something.
And then it can actually break horseback riding or maybe riding a bicycle. So there's no medical way of defining a virgin. Mm-hmm. And in terms of the vagina, I think it actually elongates and it's lubricated as you're stimulated, as you're turned on. And so I don't think sex should ever be painful.
So when I heard the question, I immediately thought emotional pain. I think that, especially, what is she, 14? I think just having sex at 14, it comes a lot of emotional baggage. So I don't think someone at 14 is ready for all that emotional baggage. So that's maybe something she should consider.
Okay, my look on it is there's a tiny hole and nothing never been up that hole before. And something goes up that hole. It's gonna hurt. And emotionally, like I said before, sex is a soul tie. So if you have sex with somebody, there's gonna be emotions involved. And if you're 14, then you're not emotionally ready to be with somebody.
That's right. So 14 you should be. Okay.
Bessie, age 16, wants to know what should she do if she feels pressure to have sex.
What should she do?
I mean, you should never be pressured into doing something. If you know you don't want to do it, then don't just move away from the situation. Like, if the boy keep coming, you just be like, no, just leave me alone. But you should never be pressured into doing anything, period. But Carol, what you think? Because you seem
Oh, I was gonna say this, no, if you know who you are, you should just always stick to your principles and do whatever. I mean, if you want to do that, fine, but if not, then always just stay true to yourself and know who you are to know that you can control yourself.
And if someone's pressuring you, that means you don't want to do it because they're forcing you to do it. You can tell them no. If that puts you at a crossroad of you knowing who you are and you just going on with the flow with it.
Anybody from the audience? No. Anybody else from the panel? Mr. Miguel?
Well, personally, I just think, that person, if they're your friend, they should have, your best interest in mind. So they should know before even asking you that you don't want to have sex. And if they cross that boundary, I personally would advise you to, to ostracize that person and to, further notice, if you would.
Well, Ms. Speaker, I got a question for you. I'm going to flip the cards a little bit. So what if it's vice versa? What if the girl is pressuring the man? You know what I'm saying? Rarely that you find rare cases of the woman pressuring the man, although, a man's not going to resist sex. So what is the man supposed to do in that type of situation if the girl is pressuring him?
Well, let me say something. I beg to differ about the man, not, accepting a woman coming out. You all mentioned prom earlier. When I was in high school and I was in prom, one of the proms I went to, a girl actually was pressuring me to have sex. And I personally, I wasn't dating her, and she wasn't my prom date either, so I really didn't see the purpose of it. And I sat down with her and I said to her, I felt personally like it was unbecoming of a woman for her, to keep coming on to me like that. And I turned her down. And I also, like I just said about the advice, I ostracized her because I felt like that, her already knowing who I was as a person, I felt like that wasn't right. And so, I would tell any man out there or, young man that if someone is pressuring you to do something, they already know that that's not something you want to do. And you walk away from the situation.
Anybody from the audience?
Yes,
I
sir.
want to answer that first question.
First question.
About, a girl being peer pressure.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say that, as me being in high school, there's no such thing as someone not peer pressuring to do something. It doesn't have to be verbal. You can see, like, if I'm sitting in class, I see everybody else working, I'll be, okay, well, I need to be doing something because I was starting doing something. And I just feel like, and it's not always the boy that peer pressures the girl that has sex, it can be her friends. So, because I'm saying, those might not be the friends for you. Mm-hmm. If your friends say, man, girl, you need to go ahead and, give them what they want, or girl, you need to go ahead, everybody else doing it. So it's not like, the man is always peer pressuring the female. It can't be her friend that has influence over her. But it's just her being strong-minded and saying, I have self-worth, I have respect for myself, I have respect for my boyfriend. My boyfriend has respect for me.
That's right. That's good. Oh, one more thing about peer pressure and sex. In our society today, there's a lot of cases of rape going on. So, hey, listen, if a girl says no, you shouldn't even be pressuring the girl. If she says no, then leave it at that. Okay? Now we can move on. Oh, now we will have a talent showcase featuring Ronald and Ashley Williams. It won't go down.
Amazing. Before we end, I would like to give each one of our panelists a few moments to share some final thoughts. So, Mr. Les, do you have any final thoughts?
Yes, I do. For all teens, preteens, high schoolers, 19-year-olds, entering into adulthood, I think it's just very important that they understand that abstinence is not just a rare way of life. It should be a realistic way of life, especially with what's going on around STDs, having kids before you're ready for them can be devastating to the child, not just you having a child. For the women and for the men, it's just difficult to maintain your manhood. And it doesn't make you a man just to have a kid, it makes you a man to want to take care of the kid. And also for just knowing the thoughts of prom and what the thought of it was, or what teenagers think about it, it helped me to realize that, because I have a little girl coming up and I need to know what teenagers are thinking, because she's getting close to that, becoming a teenager. So it was real helpful to me, and it gave great insight to what the minds of teenagers are thinking as of today.
Ms. Alicia,
well, everything about this whole thing is great. I just want to say that you have to live your own life, so make your own decisions. You will be the reason you have a baby. You will be the reason that you catch something because you decide not to protect yourself. So you are in charge of your own life. And abstinence is 100% safe.
Cameron, do you have any thoughts?
Well, my best advice for people who are thinking about having sex: try your best to remain abstinent, be open-minded, do your research before engaging in any type of sexual activity. Be willing to take everyone's or other people's opinions, as well as like attending any type of counseling, group meeting, so you can get all the information you need, just so you know the facts and the risk you're taking.
That's right. Gara? Next.
Just try to stay safe all the time. Don't do anything that you know you're going to regret. Live your life with like no worries of babies or diseases or anything like that will have to make you suffer.
Mr. Miguel?
I'll just say that we live in a world where information is free, and I think it behooves us to do our due diligence of researching and getting all this information about sex. So there isn't things like, I think I'm pregnant, and if I go take a shower, then maybe I won't have a kid or something like that. So just make sure you're not ignorant to what's going on around you, and live your life to the fullest.
Well, everyone, let's have a round of applause for all of our panelists. We would like to make a special thanks. We would like to thank our live studio audience as well as our web streaming audience. Miss Beverly Bolton and Project Champs for their participation. Miss Brooke Ballinger, Ken Stokes, and the Appel Project Youth Link team for their participation. Our friends at Beaver Street Enterprises and Fresh Ministries. Our amazing media and camera team. Breon Bozier Photography, and of course, Miss Stephanie Reese and the Family Planning Program at the Department of Health in Duval County. And remember to speak on it.
Most of the participants of broadcast are part of the Department of Health Peer Health Advocacy Program. This family planning peer health advocacy program has been in place for approximately 6 years. Teens and young adults are trained utilizing the principles of the Centers for Disease Control, Popular Opinion Leader Intervention, which is designed to identify, enlist, and train leaders to encourage safer sexual norms and behaviors within their social networks of friends and acquaintances through risk reduction, conversations, and prevention messages. The main goal of the program is to reduce the transmission rates of STDs and HIV in Jacksonville, as well as to reduce the number of unattended pregnancies amongst teens and young adults. Other goals include developing a healthier community, participating actively in activities which promote health and wellness, and educating peers to promote healthy risk education behaviors. Once again, I am yours truly, Earl Robinson Jr. on Speak On It, live from Beaver Street Enterprises. Stay tuned, because you never know, we'll be coming to a city, state, or country.